How will you know if you've won a scholarship? Well, what you can do is contact the scholarship administrator. Usually if you look at the deadline, give it about a month or so unless the scholarship specifically states when they will be notifying the winner for that particular scholarship. If a scholarship deadline has passed and it's been about a month since you've heard anything, feel free to contact the scholarship administrator to find out more information. Perhaps they're still looking through the applications, or maybe they've already made their decision. But even if you didn't win that particular scholarship, this would be a great time to find out more information in terms of feedback. So if you do apply for the scholarship again in the following year, you'll have more feedback to know what to modify in your particular essay. Okay, so what is meant by personal statement? So a personal statement is usually a short paragraph, something about what your educational goals are. Sometimes when you're applying for a school program, you may have to write a personal statement. And in that case, that would be what are your career goals, or why did you choose this particular program? When I had to apply to the radio and television program, I had to come together with a portfolio. So I put together a package, and I had to write a personal statement. And in that personal statement, I wrote about why I was going back to school again, why I chose the radio and television program, what sort of difference I wanted to make in the media industry, and what my values were about communication studies. So in a personal statement, usually there's guidelines that you can go by, but generally what that means is a paragraph or two about your personal goals. Yes, there are scholarships available for students who are studying at a French college or French university. So definitely if you have a look, if you have a particular school of study that you would like to look up, you can certainly do that on our website. All you have to do is filter your search by clicking on the School of Study button. Is there a greater chance of getting a scholarship by applying earlier? I would say that yes, to a certain extent. If you do apply earlier, it does give you a better chance in terms of showing the scholarship administrator that you're prepared. But never apply for a scholarship if you're not ready to apply. If your essay isn't ready and you need another week to finish it and the deadline isn't until 2 weeks from now, that's perfectly fine. You don't necessarily need to apply for the scholarship right when, like, the minute it's posted on our website or anything like that. Certainly do prepare your scholarship in advance as much as possible and apply when you're ready. The earlier you apply, the better. But again, unless it's specifically stated that only early applications are considered, I wouldn't be worried about submitting a scholarship application later on, as long as you don't miss the deadline. So definitely do submit on or before the deadline. Never miss the deadline, but you don't necessarily have to submit your scholarship application well in advance. We do recommend that you start early and prepare in advance, but you don't necessarily need to submit well in advance. Also, if you do submit early, it basically means that the scholarship administrator, if they are starting to look at applications, that they will look at your application earlier rather than later. But that's really the main difference. Yes, there are scholarships available for international students. Actually, on our website, if you go to our website, on the welcome page, there's a gray bar here for all the scholarships that are due within the next tomorrow, in the next 7 days, or in the next 30 days. If you are an international student, if you check mark the I am an international student. So there are 3 scholarships available for international students within the next 30 days. So that's really interesting. You don't necessarily need to check mark that box, but if you are looking for an international scholarship, that is the box to check. And that's all on the welcome page on our website. So let's see. What is the average amount of scholarships people apply for? What should my goal be? Well, what your goal should be is really up to you in terms of your educational goals. Some people apply for many scholarships. Some people apply for very few. So if you are making your applications, apply for as many as you're able to. If you start early, you definitely will be able to consider more items into your scholarship list. But if for any reason, if you have limited time or limited resources, you can apply to fewer by narrowing your search. One way to narrow down your search is to look at the deadlines to figure out which scholarships you can apply for, but to also look at the value amount. So for some people, they may only apply to larger scholarships because they want those scholarships to cover their entire tuition. But definitely, as I mentioned before, don't discount the smaller scholarships because they do provide you with valuable money or resources if you do happen to win them. And you can apply for as many scholarships as you'd like, and you can collect all those scholarship monies and put those monies towards your education. So does a higher GPA help you in winning scholarships? Not necessarily. A high GPA may help you in terms of getting an entrance scholarship for sure. Those entrance scholarships for automatic consideration do usually take into account students with higher GPAs. But again, even if you have a high GPA and you're not sure about an entrance scholarship, ask the scholarship administrator. And just because you have a higher GPA doesn't necessarily mean that you will have a better chance of winning a scholarship, because often with many scholarships you are required to write an essay. So I would say a lot of it would boil down to the experiences you have, the reference letters that you may be required to submit, and also the type of essay that you write. Definitely if you align yourself with the scholarship administrator's goals, then you're in a better position of winning that particular scholarship. At my school, we can pick up forms that we fill out in order to apply for a specific scholarship, but for the ones that we find online at your website, how do we apply for them? Okay, so if you create an account on our website, you can look up, once you've logged into your account, you can see some of the scholarship information that's available. So in terms of the eligibility requirements and the contact information, that is one way to apply for the scholarships on our website. We don't have an online application form at the moment for all the different scholarships that are out there because they're through different scholarship providers. But if you go to the website and look at the contact information, there is an application link that you can click on, and that's one way for you to apply for those scholarships. Yes, you can still apply for scholarships even after you're in university. There are scholarships available to you throughout your university career. I definitely mentioned this at the beginning of the presentation, but really, if you're in a program, there are scholarships available in the second, third, and fourth year, and even sometimes in your final year of study, like right after you graduated. You can certainly look that up and find more information on our website. Should you be accepted in your program before you apply for a scholarship? I would only, that is more so applicable for scholarships that are specific for a particular school. So if you are applying to a specific school, let's use York University for example, and the scholarships that you're looking at are specific to York University, then you do generally need to be enrolled as a student in order to be eligible for that particular award. But again, if you have any questions about a scholarship, then contact the school and find out more information. There are non-educational scholarships available, so ones that are not tied to a particular school or field of study, and those don't necessarily require you to be in a particular program. Definitely those scholarships are to be used for your higher education, so definitely try to target for that. What if you're still applying to university and haven't been accepted yet? Can you still apply for scholarships? Of course you can. You can definitely apply for scholarships. I sort of answered this in a previous question. But yes, if you are haven't been accepted necessarily in a university, you can apply for scholarships. You may not necessarily be eligible for the ones that are specific to that particular school. Thank you for all of those who stayed behind, and thank you for those who've said hello. It's great to meet you anyway. If you do have any questions at any time, feel free to contact me. Send an email, or you can find me on Twitter or Facebook. And yeah, it's great to hear from you. And I hope you enjoyed our presentation. And definitely send me any feedback if you have any questions or any comments that you have about the presentation. Do let me know, because I do want to make these presentations better for you. All right, so have a great day, and all for now.